And we're back. Sorry, the game crashed. Okay. Here we are. Oh, it's very pleasant. So, shouldn't look at the stream while I'm playing because it's very distracting. Because there's a lag between my screen and the stream. Is that a beaver? No, it's a snail. Yeah. Is this a special tree? No. Okay. All trees are special. Okay. So, as I was saying before we crashed, I've been writing stories for about 6 years now, and all of the stories have been set in the same universe. And this universe is inspired by Palestinian folklore. Yes. I'm Palestinian, and I love folklore and fairy tales, folk tales, all that jazz. I just love it. So, that led me very quickly to, once I found books that were about our folklore, I kind of scooped it all up in my brain, and it's been inspiring me ever since. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like fruit wood and maybe like apple. Let's see. Peach. Oh. I cut down a peach tree. That's sad. Anyway, as I was saying, I have decided that in addition to the stories that I've made a short game, a visual novel type game, and that's also been in the same setting. Oops. And this setting is called the Barakaverse. Baraka is a term in Arabic that is very important for Palestinian folklore and also various religions. It translates usually as blessing, but in the folklore it functions like a force of nature, or basically the idea is that there is a energy or a power that flows through the universe, and it can be it's a beneficial power that can be stored in objects. Oh, you can oak planks from that. That's good. Okay. Right. Baraka is a power that can be stored in objects. It's supposed to come from God, and flows, like the closer you are in terms of proximity to something that has Baraka in it, like this tree, for example, could, because of its age, if you had a tree that was, I think the number is like 60 years old, Baraka just kind of gets absorbed into the tree. And then spooky stuff starts happening. Sorry, I just had to moderate the chat a little bit. Yeah, spooky stuff starts happening. So, in the case of trees, when they're about 60 years old, they attract spirits. Usually, saints will live inside the tree. I say as I'm cutting one down. And then all kinds of spooky stuff happens, like there's lights in the tree and music during holidays and stuff like that. So I thought about like what to call the setting, and there's a lot going on. There's jinn, there's ghouls, there's saints, there's prophets, there's there's all kinds of beings and just general spookiness. Animals have their own societies in Palestinian folklore. There's like all kinds of stuff that I draw upon. But when I thought about it, I figured, you know what, the most common thing that's drawing it together is what people would normally call like a magic system. But for me, magic is just unsanctioned religious practice. It's a ritual that is not condoned by authorities like a church or anything. And, we call that magic. Yeah, I'm still not used to the controls as well. So it's really annoying. There we go. Now I have a proper floor. I can put my bed down. It's going to change color as well. Weird. Oh, there we go. Something squeaking out there. Yeah, so the universe itself is called the Barakaverse. Now, what else can we say about the Barakaverse? It is currently, I've written a lot of stories that take place, how should I put it, above ground? So, these are, I don't have enough planks, that's why that's not showing up. Okay. There we go. Trying to make a chest. So these stories take place in the quote-unquote real world in Palestine, or I wrote a couple stories that take place in Michigan. I'm actually from Canada, so it's right across the water. Yeah, I'm getting very distracted. I don't have notes for this. I'm just kind of extemporizing. So, all of my stories have taken place above ground, so like in the real world. One of the interesting things about Palestinian folklore is that there is a variation on the origin of the jinn. So most people know the jinn are beings from Islamic tradition and are featured in the Quran. And there's a very canonical straight line of what a jinn is and where they're from, where they came from, what they are made of, etc. And Palestinian folklore is very messy, which is wonderful. It's wonderfully messy. And one of these diversions is a origin story for the jinn where they're not created separately from humanity. They are human. Or they were human, I guess you could say. So the thing that happened is, according to a woman who lived in Palestine during, I think it was 1910s or 1920s, I can't remember, but they recorded her giving an account of the origin of the jinn, which is very different. And her story is that that in the beginning, Adam and Eve they had so many children at a time. They had like 40 children at a time. And this was unsustainable. Eve couldn't take care of them all. And so what she would do is she would choose the best from the children and she would nurse them, and the others she would abandon. And one day Adam was asking, like, where are the other children? And she said, no, these are all that God gave to me. And he was very suspicious. So he actually prayed that if there were other children, that God would spare them. And there were certain stipulations, like he said, have them be hidden, and where the humans will live above ground during the day in the sun. The jinn will, or these beings, the other children of Adam and Eve, would live underground and walk upon the earth during the night. And so that was the story of where the jinn come from. They're human beings that were abandoned by Adam and Eve, or by Eve, rejected, and they became these hidden beings that are of like neutral morality, just like human beings are. So they're not demons in the sense of a demon being purely malevolent. There are jinn societies that have different religions and different moralities, and individuals also. So there are good jinn, there are bad. That's like the nutshell version. So I looked at this story and I thought, well, if the jinn were hidden somewhere underground, under Palestine, there had to have been a place that was created for them. Like they are coexisting with humans. And in a lot of the stories, you have jinn that appear totally human and are taking human lovers. They're being mistaken for human beings. And you have stories of places where humans are passing into some sort of other world by going down, either through ruins or in tombs and holes and caves and so on. So I was thinking, okay, there has to be some kind of other place. It's not named in the folklore, but there has to be. It just makes sense. So I have been working on this setting where there is like a whole society that has developed over the entire course of history since this point when the jinn diverged from humans. And that the people that come through from the surface have influenced the societies that have developed down there and the cultures. So essentially it's part secondary world because it's extremely different from our own. But it has these links to our own history. There are empires, there are kingdoms. It's very vast, but in terms of land, very small. It's actually quite sparsely populated, I imagine. So a lot of my stories that I haven't published yet take place in this realm of that doesn't have a name. But I've started to call it the Barakaverse. So, what are my plans going forward? I have two agents that I'm working with on a novel, which will take place in the hopefully we'll have like a kind of introductory experience for people that are new to the Barakaverse. So it's going to take place in the real world or the human world, but half of the book will take place in this other world, the Palestine below. I'm calling it right now, but I really need to find a good name for it. What the people living there would call it. They wouldn't just call it Palestine below, because to them it's their world. It's a world that was set aside for them. So there are people from the surface that are called wanderers that need to be acclimated to living in a world where the jinn are everywhere. Oh dear. Hold on a moment.